Okay, we're now recording, and it says recording up there. And so this is ICS321, and it's the second to last day of class. It's the last week, and I'm just gonna continue where I was last time, except for I'll probably start from the beginning. I did put a recording up on Friday of what I did on Wednesday. I forgot to click the record button on Wednesday. Um, and so you should watch that. And so I'm going to probably, oh no, so I'm going to start today with a fresh stored procedure, but I'm just going to zip through kind of what I did last time so it's all there. And then I'll just kind of continue on with doing some more things. All right, so let me share my screen. And I think I'll just click that and click that. And now I am sharing my screen and recording. All right. Okay, so the assignment I'm doing is assignment the last one, the club scheduling. And as you recall, these are duties that you're assigned, that you can be assigned at a meeting, and there's a club roster, and and everybody's assigned to one of these duties every meeting, and there can be up to 3 speakers and 3 evaluators also. And this table shows the rules regarding how often and who can be assigned certain duties when. And the prep means that that duty takes a preparation that week. So if you're one of these duties that's got a prep of equal 1, that means you have to prepare for that duty that week. And there's a rule that says that you're never assigned a duty that you need to prepare for 2 meetings in a row. So if you are assigned a meeting, if you are assigned a duty at a meeting this week that requires you to prepare, you can be assured that the next meeting you won't be assigned a duty that requires you to prepare. And so, like, the timer doesn't require you to prepare, and the general evaluator doesn't require you to prepare, nor the evaluator. And then there's this period, which is how often you can be assigned to a position, to a duty. So you can't be assigned Toastmaster more often than every 3rd meeting. You can't be assigned timer more often than every other meeting, and so on. Your assignment is to write a stored procedure where where the stored procedure will accept as arguments the duty, the meeting, and the member, and it will return whether or not it's okay to assign that member that duty at that meeting. So it has to do with scheduling. And once you have something that does that, then you can, make anything else that you need, including, automatically generating the schedule each week. So last week, and I gave you, this database is not super up to date, but this Toastmasters version 2 SQL is pretty up to date. It's I actually included a stored procedure here, which would check to see if you could be a grammarian, and I don't think I had this on Wednesday. I think I created this on Wednesday, and then I put it up on Friday. Let's see, what's the date here? It's November 30th. Yes, so November 30th was Friday. Okay, so all right, so then I'm not going to start with this. I'm going to produce this. Okay, because I'm going to start before Friday. So let me, well, actually, you are, okay, I can't go back to the previous one because I don't have that up here anymore. I guess I will start with this one and I'll just continue on with this. Um, um, but but I'm going to go through this and make some changes and enhancements because this isn't completely done yet. So so let me import this into a new database. So here I am. I've started up here, and I'm going to create a new database. I'm going to go here, MySQL, and I'm going to create a new database called Toastmasters 3. Toastmasters 3, and that'll create the database. And then I'm going to go to phpMyAdmin and open up Toastmasters 3, and it doesn't have anything in it. And I'm going to import this export. But this export was actually for this account. And everybody's account is different. Everyone's is your own account. And so what you have to do, and this occurs in three places in this file, once here, and one down here where I define a view. And so you need to change that to your username. Otherwise those things won't export, won't import. So so I'll do that because I'm gonna import it over to a different account. You notice this says our ICHARDH, and the other one says R1. So I'm going to copy this. I'm just going to start by copying this and do a Control A and then do a Control C. And then I'm going to go over to this new database here, and I'm going to click on SQL, and I'm just going to paste, Control V, and that pastes it in there. And now I need to go in and change all the R1s. In fact, I think it's easier if I open up my favorite text editor here. And let me go here, normal text. I'm going to paste it in here. And then I'm going to change every occurrence of, I'll just go to every occurrence of this to my new one, which is, it's actually our ICHRDH. And so I'm just going to replace all. And it did 4 of them. The reason it was 4 is because it also changed this comment. You don't need to change that because it's a comment. It's just here you need to change that. All right, so now I can Control A, Control C, and then go over here and let me get rid of this. Control A, delete. And now I'm going to do Control V to paste. And here's my new one. And you notice it has the same user ID as is right up here and right here. And so I'm going to click Go. And it seems to have all imported in. And here's all my tables and everything. And let's, I'm going to close this and open it up again so I get to see all that. And I'm going to click on procedures, and here's my 2 procedures. Okay, I explained earlier that this previous meeting store procedure simply takes in a meeting ID and returns the date of the meeting following the date of that meeting ID. And so, this just does some fancy SQL and returns, it returns in this variable here, it sets it right here, and that's where it returns it. this store procedure here, this is a store procedure which will check to see if this member can be assigned this duty on this meeting, on the date of this meeting ID. And this is a test for position number 5. And so, so position number 5, I'm gonna grab out this store procedure right here. I'm just gonna grab it out because I'm gonna work on this one. And let me just copy this out, and I'm gonna make a new one here, and I'm gonna save this as some format that works better for, I'm gonna say store, check, assignment valid, but I don't want to use SQL because that does not sound good. Assignment valid, I don't know, HTML or something. Oh, how about a JS? Okay, now I'm gonna do a paste, and the only reason I did that is because the margins are easier, better to be, you know, the change in color and stuff. All right, so so this is the store procedure, and what it does is for position number 5. Now I'm gonna make this a comment because I want to just be able to copy this back in again. And let's see, I want to make a nice table that I have reference to that'll make it so I can see all of the duties and people assigned to duties for the particular meeting that I have assignments in there for, and then so that way I can look and see how I can test these things. And so a nice select statement that'll help me do that will be select, and I want to see the meeting ID, and I'm gonna it's going to be select from assignments. I'm going to call that table A. Left join members. I'm going to call that table M, and that's going to be on A.member ID equals M.member ID. Now, we can't use natural join because there's too many other common column names. So, so that'll be that'll join up the members, and then we want to do left join the duties because we want to see what the duties are. I'm going to call that D, and that's going to be D.duty ID equals A.duty ID. And I think that might be all I need to join up. And let's see what this looks like right now. SQL. Should I make this a little bigger? Go. Oh, I forgot to use the word from. Select star from assignments. Am I naming them? Assignments. Left join members. Left join duties. Oh, on. Oh, date. Oh, I'm not in here. I'm out at the database level. Oops. I mean, I'm out at the haven't even selected the database yet. Let me click on the database here. Click on that. Yeah. All right. I need to be in the database. Right. In my start. Okay. All right. Let's try this again. that. All right, and this gives me, okay, so I'm interested in the meeting ID, the duty ID, the member ID, and the first name, or the member ID, first name, last name, and the duty title. And the period, okay, preparation period. Okay, so I'm actually interested in from assignments on, and I actually want a member ID. Well, let's see. I want meeting ID first because I want it to be in the same order. Meeting ID and the member ID and the duty ID and the first name and the last name and the duty title and the preparation and the period. Yeah, let's see what this does. I'm gonna word wrap this. Prep, it's called meetings. Oh, it's called preparation. Okay, so now we have them in the order that are entered into our store procedure, and then we can see who they are and what the titles are, what the duties are, and everything. Okay, so let me fix this. It was preparation. Okay, so all right, so I'm going to add some. So I'm going to expand on this store procedure. Okay, it's 201. Right now it does grammarian, and if we look at this, we see that. Well, actually, we can look back at the assignment also. We see that grammarian is the same as Toastmaster and Inspiration and Joke Master and Table Topics Master and Speaker. Okay, so we can just, they're all the same. So we can kind of, so we make one, we finish one, and then we can, just sort of replicate. And if we make it in the way that we can really replicate it easy, then that'll be even easier for us. In fact, we could even figure out how to share the same code. But let's first get everything running, and then we can figure out after we're done running and done looking at it, we can get some ideas on how we can perhaps shrink it up. Okay, so now I'm going to want to at the top here. Okay, so I'm going to have one store procedure. Well, you can have you can have as many store procedures as you want, and store procedures can call other store procedures. It's not like triggers where you're just kind of all stuck in one code, but all stuck in one file. But I'm going to make this store procedure do assignment valid for all of the assignments and all the members, and all the member IDs. So the first thing I need to do when this thing is called is I gotta make sure I'm just checking. I only need to check for one meeting ID and one. Well, there's going to be a chunk, or there's going to be an if statement for each assignment. Okay, and it only has to execute the if statement for the assignment I'm checking. It doesn't have to execute all the other if statements. So I really need something like a switch. And I could look it up and see if there's a switch, but instead I can just do an if then else, if then else, if then else. So now it's going to get kind of tedious. So why don't I create some sort of constant type things at the top, and I'm going to say something like set at Toastmasters. It can be capitalized, I guess. Toastmaster equals whatever the number is for Toastmaster. Let me figure out how to copy that out. It would be something like it's these. Well, whatever. I'll just remember them. Toastmaster is order by duty ID. Okay. Toastmaster is 2, and we've got inspiration, joke master, grammarian, timer, table topics master, general evaluator, speaker, and evaluator. So this is going to be like 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that right? And this is actually inspiration. And this is joke master at joke master. And this is at grammarian. And this is at timer. And this is at table topics master. Table topics, I'll just put table topics. And this one, 8 is general evaluator. And 9 is speaker. And 10 is evaluator, I think. Okay, so we have those now, and now our code can look a little bit nicer. And so let's say we're going to start by checking. Let's just change this code to start with Toastmaster. So if the duty ID is equal to Toastmaster at Toastmaster, then we're checking Toastmaster. I don't need to have this comment here. Then first see if the okay, first I'm seeing if the guy's already assigned to a duty. So I look at assignments, meeting ID, and member ID, and see if I get back a duty ID. And if I do, then if it's not no, then that means no, the guy can't be Toastmaster because he's already something else. I'm going to change these this return valid here, and so each time I check inside, I'm going to say something like set valid equals yes, and I'm going to say Toastmaster because that's what I'm checking. And I'm going to have to make that field, make sure that field is big enough to to be able to return my fancy stuff. And here I'm going to say duty ID not defined, because it's going to go through all this thing, and if it's not caught by any of them, then in return, at the end, it'll just return duty ID is not defined. So the first time I'm going to check Toastmaster, and so I'm going to like preset this valid flag to say yes, and then I'm going to go through here until to see if I find a reason to change it to no, and if I don't, then it's going to fall out of here as yes. And it's not going to get caught by any of the others either, because it was caught by this one. It's only one value. The duty ID was this, and then it'll fall all the way out, and it'll return yes dash Toastmaster. So this thing checks to see if the guy has a duty, and no, and I'm going to say no Toastmaster just because, just so I can keep things straight here. Already assigned another duty. Something like that. Okay, no. Otherwise, I got to check to see if okay, now it can't be pause anymore because I'm not using pause. What it is it's Toastmaster. So let me say, because this is the no, it's duty ID. That's right. It's duty ID. So I can, because I want this code to be the same. How can I make this code the same if I have this say here? I know. I'm going to say set duty name, no, set duty title. Oh, it's got to be an amper. Set duty title equal Toastmaster. And because that's what I'm checking. And then I'm going to say yes. Oh, I'm going to do it this way. I'm getting too fancy here, aren't I? All right, so this is going to say yes, that, and then I better try this out to make sure, because I'm getting all fancy here. And if it works, I'm going to replicate it, as many times as that is like this one. So otherwise, I'm going to say no. Going to look like this. Otherwise, it's going to be this. And this says no. Already assigned. Whatever that's worth. Okay, and let me copy this. And okay, so no, the guy's already assigned to another duty. Otherwise, it checks to see if anybody else is assigned to Toastmaster. And if somebody is assigned to Toastmaster, then we say no. Oh, this is a bad no. This is kind of silly. Member assigned another duty. I could figure out the member's name, but okay. So otherwise, it does that, and I think I must have put a parentheses around all these just to make it easier for me. And so I'm going to copy this one. And so, okay, so it checks to see if the member is already assigned, or if Toastmaster is already assigned, if that duty is already assigned. Otherwise, it continues on. It's going to check to see two meetings back. Let's see. First, one meeting back and two meetings back. So here it's going to figure out what the date of the current of the meeting that we're trying to assign, and then it figures out the meeting ID of the previous date, and now it looks at that previous date to see if that member was assigned to any duty that requires any kind of preparation, including Toastmaster. And if so, then you want to say no assigned preparation duty last meeting, previous meeting. Okay, so no, you don't want to assign them then. Okay, fine. If the person was not assigned a duty that required preparation last meeting, then you got to go back two meetings to see if the person was assigned the duty of this duty, which is Toastmaster. So again, here instead of POS, we got to put this is duty ID because that's what we're looking at. It's duty ID coming in as the parameter, and so this checks back two, and otherwise no assign this duty this duty two meetings. What happened? How'd that happen? Prior to this meeting. Boy, I better make sure that that's bar chart long enough. Okay, so this gives the error saying sorry. Okay, so let's test this. I don't need this set pause anymore. All right, so I'm just going to copy this in. I'm going to save this. I'm going to cut, and this does it for Toastmaster. Okay, so I don't need, this is just an end. So let me just copy the whole thing and paste it into here. Assignment valid. And sure, I'll just paste it in here. Hope this works. I'm destroying it. Paste. Go. Oh. I'm never going to find the. All right, let's see if I can figure this out by going like this. No, I just can't see it. Oh, there's two. Maybe. Sorry. What is this? Should this? It's screwed up. All right. Let me go back here and see if I can. Okay, this is wrong. This is wrong. Shouldn't concatenating that should work. Duty title. Maybe that was all it was. Copy this. Try it again. Is there an end? Oh. Oh, there's the end. All right. Oh, I guess it was just those semicolons. All right, so so it's in there. Now let's test it. So how am I going to test it? I'm going to say call. I'm going to say call. Okay, so first I'm going to test someone who, so I'm assigning Toastmaster. Test someone who, someone who had a preparation duty last meeting. Okay, so that would be call assignment underscore valid, and it's let's look at so someone who had okay, so I'm going to do meeting 1102, and someone who had okay, so Wendy McAllister had a duty at the previous meeting where you had to prepare. So it's member ID 17 duty and member ID 17. Okay, so so it's going to be Toastmasters 2, and then member ID is 17, and the duty. Oh no, I'm sorry. The duty ID is 2, and this meeting ID is 1102, and I want to get the result out. Val, and then I have to say select Val. Okay, now I forgot something. Let me just grab this. 1102.17.2, I think that's right. 1102.17 duty 2. So I'm going to try to assign Wendy Toastmaster at the next meeting. Now I forgot to do something. I need to make this varchar 100. Okay, so let me just try this. Clear. And it says, no, Toastmaster assigned preparation duty previous meeting. I can click options and go full texts and click go and see. Well, I can do it now, I can. I think. Yeah. No, and the assignment is Toastmaster assigned preparation duty at previous. So this member was assigned a preparation duty at the previous meeting. Okay, let's try to assign somebody who was Toastmaster at the 2 meetings ago. So let me see who was Toastmaster at this meeting by going here like that. Let's see who this was again. Okay, so Toastmaster at this meeting was oh, it's out of order. I gotta let me put a sort in there. Order by duty ID. And Toastmaster was Rich Sullivan. He's member ID number 2, or number 32. So I'm going to test someone who was Toastmaster 2 meetings ago. Okay, and that's going to be call. It's going to be this, except for it's going to be 1103, and it's going to be Rich Sullivan, who was Rich Sullivan is member number 32, and the assignment is 2. Okay, so Rich Sullivan was just you know, at 1101 and nothing at 1102, wasn't assigned anything. And okay, let's see if this works. I should say no, assign this duty 2 meetings prior to this meeting. Yeah, okay. And if we make it 3, so let's try someone who was Toastmaster 3 meetings ago. So, okay. Okay, and that would just be Rich Sullivan at 1104. At 1104. And it should just say, yes, Toastmaster. Okay, so so it looks like it works for Toastmaster. Now we should just be able to do it for other ones. And and which ones are? Let's look again and make sure we know which ones. Well, I can just tell you which ones. It's let me just look at this again, and here, and here, and here, and it is Toastmaster, Inspiration, Joke Master, Grammarian. So it's two, it's in the code, isn't it? No, it's not. Oh, they're all one and 3, aren't they? Yeah, I should have made this different. So it's different. It's all 1 and 3. There's a 0 and 3. Okay, so all the ones that had a duty. Okay, so that means that we're talking about 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 9. So this is 2. This is 2. And let me copy, and I'm going to do 3. And so I got to put, I got to get rid of this end if. Oops. And I got to put else if. I think it's just one word. Else if. Yes, it's just one word. And I'm going to change this to inspiration. And I'm going to change this to inspiration. And that's it. Good to go, I think. Let's see. Save, copy, and paste here. Copy this all out. Delete it all and do a paste. And go. Yes. And now let's try inspiration. So let's test to see someone. Well, okay, someone who had okay, let's just do someone who had a. This is for Toastmaster. And let's try for inspiration. And that would be, well, Rich Sullivan works. He was 32, wasn't he? Okay, so it's the next meeting, 32, and the duty is 3 for inspiration. And so this should say no can do. SQL. And it says no inspiration assigned preparation duty previous meeting. You know, you could say no. Rich Sullivan was assigned Toastmaster previous meeting if you want to. You know, get more fancy, which then you have to look them up and everything. And on Wednesday, I'll tell you more ways that you can get fancy. One way I'd like you to you could instead of doing if then else, as we're doing here, let me test this first. I want to see if this works. Oh, it does work. We tested it, it works. Is you could have it return a string that's parentheses and then the duties that the person could do, you know. So and it could be a comma separated duty ID numbers, and that can be put inside of a set or an in. So with that, you could list all the duties that member would be eligible to be assigned at a particular meeting, and you could get that back in one stored procedure call, and then you could do a select where you're looking for the duty ID to be in that set that was returned, and then you get that. So that's a way to, and then the other thing you can do, okay, so that would be all the duties that a member would be eligible to be assigned. The other thing would be is if you could get all of the members that could be assigned to a particular duty. So if you could write a stored procedure where you put in a meeting ID and a duty ID, and it returns the set of member IDs for all the members that could be assigned that duty. And there's other things that this has to do that I have not covered and that I haven't given you an example of, and that is you want to check to see if the member is going to be absent that day. And so you could push the smarts up to the PHP program that's executing, or up to the API that's using this. But it might be better if you did more and you actually you input a member ID, a duty ID, and a member ID, a duty ID, and whatever the meeting date is. And the meeting ID, and it'll say no, the member is absent or will not be there that day. The other thing is that you could also provide in the message, yes, but this member would prefer not to perform this duty, and that's where you would go in and check the desires, or whatever that table is called, preferences table. So just to finish out this part, as you can see, we can just replicate. Now we can just replicate this code here up down to inside. Okay, this is the last if. This end if is the last if, and you would repeat like from here to here, and you would repeat that for copy, and then you'd put one for let's see, joke master, grammarian, not timer, because this is the timer code is going to be different, but it's going to be the same as table topics master and speaker. Okay, so this last one was speaker. And this can be speaker. And then before that was table topics master. I think I just called that table topics. Oh, this can be master, but this can be table topics. Is that how I did it? 64. Yes. And the next one is grammarian. And the one before that is Joke Master. And the one before that is Inspiration and Toastmaster. Okay, so that kind of does it for the duties that look like the ones where there's preparation and the period is 3. And so you can go back in and do the one where you don't need to check preparation. You only need to check if the person is assigned a duty that it's not, you don't want the person to be assigned another duty, but you do want the, okay, so 0 and 2. So what would that look like? It's 234. So you could do throw in, maybe not at the end here. That's speaker. So I'm going to do a copy and then a paste again. And now I'm going to do timer. Let's try to do this for timer. Timer. And so check if I already assigned a duty this meeting. This checks to see if the person's already signed a duty. If no, the member's already signed another duty. Okay, else. Count to see how many times. Oh, check to see if somebody else has already signed this duty. Check to see if somebody else is already a timer. If there is, you say no, the person that's already a timer. Otherwise, you don't need to check. Oh, check if the member was a timer. Yeah, this comment is wrong. Should be, was this duty? Not here. But so yeah, replace. Okay. Okay, check to see if the person was. This checks to see. Okay. This looks at the last meeting, and here you just want to check to see if duty equals this duty. Where is that one? That's this. Right. It's only, you just have to check to see if the person, okay, so equals duty ID. Equals duty. So that's the timer. So you're checking to see if at the previous meeting, if the guy was the timer. If so, you say no, assigned this duty the previous meeting. Otherwise, that's it. You don't care about 2 meetings ago or this. So there. That should work for timer. First, you check to see if the person is already assigned to a duty. If so, you say so. If not, then you check to see if someone else has already signed that duty. If there is, you say so. Otherwise, not. Then you check to see if this person was assigned this duty at the last meeting. So, because that's the only thing that would keep the person from being assigned a timer. The timer, it doesn't matter what the person did the last meeting because you don't have to prepare for this meeting. It's just that you don't want to assign somebody the timer two meetings in a row. That's it. So this should take care of timer, and then for evaluator, is it the same thing? Evaluator is the same as timer. Oh, general evaluator is 3. Okay, so evaluator is the same as timer. So this can be copy paste. This can be evaluator. And this can be evaluator. Okay, and now the other thing, okay, so the last thing now is, we haven't done presiding officer yet. But I think anybody could be presiding officer according to this, because it doesn't require preparation and you can assign it that person every meeting. Evaluator is, no, general evaluator is like evaluator. No, you have to check 3 meetings ago, not just 2 meetings ago. So it's kind of like this one. So I'm gonna copy this one for general evaluator. So I'm gonna say general evaluator. General evaluator. Okay, so first you check to see if the person's assigned, no, and then you check to see if someone else is assigned general evaluator, no. Then you check to see if the person was generally evaluator at the last meeting or the meeting before, equals this duty, because we're talking about general evaluator. So this checks to see if the person was general evaluator at the last meeting. No, the person was assigned this duty at the previous meeting. If wasn't assigned the duty at the previous meeting, then you check to see, you go back one more meeting, and if the person was not assigned this duty, if the person was assigned this meeting 2 meetings ago, then you still can't do it because you got to go 3 meetings. It's every other meeting. You have to go 2 meetings where he's not general evaluator. And so this should take care of that. All right. So it looks like I have everything for, so now I've got all the things. Let me just see if this code, if the thing accepts this code. You go here and do Control-A, delete, Control-V, go. Yeah. All right. So it's all there. I will leave it to you to test it. It's 241. But I suggest you do as I was doing here, and you just come up with test cases, and this data is fine. You can go up 2 meetings, 1 meeting, go up 3 meetings, and this data is fine. And then you should put in something to check to make sure the person's going to be there, and you can put that check right at the top. As soon as you know the meeting date, you can go into the absences and see if the member, if there's a date range in there that includes that meeting date. And if there is, you say, no, the person's not going to be here. And then desire also. You should check to see if it's called preferences. You can check to see if the person refuses to be that position. If so, you say, no, the person does not, will not perform this duty. Or if it's, if the person will do it if no one else will, then you could change this yes to something like, reluctantly or something, so it's yes, but it's yes if there's nobody else assigned to it. All right, okay, so I will, okay, so you have this code, and you can watch this video again, or for all of you in class, I guess most of you are here, so you probably were able to type it in as you were going, and then just enhance it some more. On Wednesday, I'll continue on, and somebody asked me to do some, asked me to help them or cover some other things like assignment 4. I'll try to take a look at that before Wednesday and answer your question individually, or you can ask me to do something, and then after that we don't have any more class, but of course I'll be available for questions, and so I will, if you have anything else, just email me. Are there any questions? All right. Thanks for watching.